Hey everyone, welcome to Aptistic. Today we're diving into small space magic with warm, layered Bohemian charm. Think soft winter light, tactile neutrals, and pieces that tell a story. If you love Echo Park vibes, cozy textures, and realistic styling that actually fits tiny rooms, you're in the right place. Settle in with a cup of tea, breathe in those sage and clay tones, and let's explore how thoughtful layers, natural materials, and gentle light can make a compact home feel calm, feminine, and beautifully lived in. Soft winter light slows everything down, catching the linen weave and the faint scuffs in the oak as if time had a hush button. Jute rubs kindly against the old kilim, and the brass lamp throws a mellow halo across clay and sage pillows. Nothing shouts. It hums in layered textures and gentle neutrals shaped for small comfort, the kind that remembers quiet mornings with tea and a notebook. Even the olive sapling seems to breathe, leaves tilting toward the glow, while Los Angeles waits beyond the window, softened and far away. There is a sweetness to this tiny dining corner, like a pause between thoughts, with a round table dressed in linen and a soft runner catching winter brightness. Stoneware stacks feel reassuring, weighty in the hand, while a brass pendant dims to a late afternoon whisper. Terracotta threads through napkins and rug, weaving calm into the cream and taupe palette. The window holds Echo Park in ribbed glass, turning the city to watercolor edges. Everything fits without pressing, like a favorite cardigan that finally warmed through. Afternoons here blur into cozy edges, the sofa low and generous in pebble linen, the layered rugs softening footsteps into a hush. Gauze curtains float at the slightest breeze, letting winter light pool gently over ceramics and leafy vines. Patterns mingle without fuss, paisley, stripe, a whisper of blue-gray, each softened by time. The sconce leans in like a confidant, warm brass and patience, while the small oak crate keeps the essentials corralled. Nothing is staged, it is simply comfortable enough to exhale fully and stay. The kitchenette glows with an honest brightness, cream tiles catching the morning and returning it softer. Maple shelves hold everyday stoneware with a kind of humble pride, edges worn smooth by use. A Keelim runner narrows the galley, adding color without clutter, while linen cafe curtains breathe with the light. Terracotta crocks, sage canisters, and brass rails pair like old friends. Even the tiny induction hob feels considered, tucked and tidy. It is practical, yes, but more than that, it is inviting, as if every cup brewed here tastes a touch warmer. This reading nook feels like a whispered invitation, folded into a corner where winter light lands softly and quietly lingers. A slipper chair in warm taupe welcomes layered throws, while a carved stool keeps a cup and a poem within reach. The jute base anchor lets a shag rug bring tenderness underfoot, and a single brass sconce pools light like storybook glow. Botanical prints and a sprig of olive steady the room's pulse. It is the kind of spot that makes time elastic and kindness easier to offer. The entry's grace is in its smallness. Peg rail, cane bench, a simple runner, and the rhythm of everyday things given a place. Ribbed glass turns daylight into a soft veil that kisses the plaster niche, where a ceramic bowl keeps keys from wandering. Brass hooks gleam, not loudly, but faithfully. A seagrass basket catches the day's edges, terracotta anchors the season. The calm here is not precious. It is purposeful, a little ritual of arrival and release where shoes, coats, and thoughts get lighter together. The accent wall holds textures like keepsakes, where natural-dyed textile art settles into plaster white with a graceful sigh. An oak ledge collects small moments, glazed vases, a stack of books softened with use, while a love seat curves into the composition. The layered rugs define a quiet center, their colors faded to friendliness. Winterlight chooses its favorites, drawing out blush threads and brass edges. Everything feels intentional without trying, as if the room learned to edit over time and kept only what the heart returns to. The window bench becomes a winter harbor, padding in oatmeal linen and an indigo bolster that remembers summer. Gauze curtains filter cloudlight into a calm that seems to slow the air itself. A rattan tray corrals tea and a little bud vase, small rituals made visible. Beneath, a narrow runner gives feet a soft path. Beside, a petite shelf keeps beloved reeds close. The bamboo shade casts gentle stripes, the sort that make afternoons feel timeless. It is comfort without fluff, beauty without fuss, perfectly sized for lingering. The sleep corner keeps to whisper tones. Ivory linen, a clay quilt folded like a promise, seagrass trunk steady at the foot. Morning arrives generously but softly, ribbed glass turning brightness biddable. A cane screen grants privacy without closing anything off, and eucalyptus brushes the air with freshness. A small shelf in brass and oak holds the night's necessities, respectful and unobtrusive. Patterns arrive in miniature, a Keelim lumbar, a narrow rug, just enough to comfort the eye. Rest feels earned here and easy to trust. This little desk corner believes in gentle focus, a reclaimed plank with history, a linen pinboard catching inspirations like falling leaves. The brass sconce leans in to outline the edges of the day, and a rattan cushion makes sitting feel more like settling. Gauze drapes temper the light, while a framed Keelim fragment keeps the palette rooted. Cables tuck neatly into a jute basket, proof that clarity can look warm. It is a place where plans get sketched kindly, with room for pauses and second thoughts. Evenings soften around a small oak credenza, its ribbed glass refracting lamp glow into delicate shimmer. A woven tray gathers the bits that tend to wander, and linen runs the length like a quiet horizon. Dried olive branches lean toward the light, their silhouettes elegant and spare. Rugs underfoot thicken the hush, letting winter dusk arrive gently. The palette, calm and familiar, holds space for rest without taking the spotlight. It is a composed corner, content to be enough. Shelves hold a simple beauty here: speckled stoneware, ribbed tumblers, a sage bowl with a soft sheen, and winter light rests on them like a blessing. Rosemary in terracotta lends a whisper of green and the comfort of useful fragrance. A narrow kilim strip animates the jute runner, adding story without clutter. The brass rail gleams in companionship with cream tiles and maple. Everything is reachable. Everything earned its keep, and the whole feels graciously modest, as if hospitality lives in the details and waits patiently for the next warm cup. The lounge grouping keeps conversation and quiet company equally in mind. Round rattan table with a carved lip for wayward pages, pebble linen love seat offering a generous lean. A Persian fragment atop sisal anchors the palette. Dusty rose and sage smile at each other across the room. Night collects in the plaster niche where a candle makes a private constellation. Brass arcs gently from a floor lamp, brushing fern leaves with light. Nothing dazzles. Everything settles, gracefully, recognizably, kindly. Storage becomes style in this slender hall, pegs threading a story of textures, linen, seagrass, bleached oak, without weighing anything down. A tiny kilim over jute turns footsteps rhythmic, while a frosted globe polishes winter light to a low, comforting shine. The ceramic catch-all keeps pockets honest. A lidded canister tucks away what does not need to be seen. Creams, taupes, and a clay undertone knit the corridor into the home's heartbeat. It is efficiency wearing its loveliest face. The plant corner feels like a gentle conversation in green, a quiet chorus of terracotta, seagrass, and soft shadows. A pothose trails with easy confidence, while an olive sapling stands thoughtful in its woven basket. The jute ground, with a small Moroccan accent, keeps textures honest and inviting. Brass glints from a mister, ribbed glass holds eucalyptus, and the air smells faintly herbal. Light arrives softened, lingering on leaf edges that curl just so. It is nurturing without fuss, like kindness that shows up on time. The bedroom shelf is unhurried, linen spines, a pleated shade casting warm ovals, a folded quilt in quiet pattern holding a place for calm. A single kilim pillow nods to travel, a matte clay pot with dried grasses keeps to this season's hush. Morning seeps in gently, tracing edges instead of flooding. The runner whispers underfoot, reminding that comfort is textural as much as visual. It is simple because it has learned what matters here, and the whole room exhale follows. The corridor turns into a gallery of softness, where textiles become memory, framed and lit by small brass lights with patient glow. A layered runner stretches the eye and comforts the steps, pairing Seisel's honesty with a faded pattern's charm. Ripped glass at the door turns daylight to watercolor. Clay and taupe hold the palette steady. A basket collects the practicals. The effect is welcoming without announcement, like a friend who knows how to listen. The kitchen cart works like a little stage for everyday care, a marble top reflecting winter radiance, woven baskets catching produce before it rolls. Stoneware waits, reliable and quietly beautiful. A linen towel hangs like a pause. Herbs in terracotta reach for the light, forgiving and fragrant. A jute rug, edged by a slim kilim, makes the work zone feel grounded and kind. It is resourceful and charming, proof that small can be thoroughly enough. The back door turns the rear porch into a watercolor, ribbed glass blurring Echo Park into shape and color while warmth gathers inside. A sisal mat with a narrow kilim catches the day at the threshold, reminding shoes and worries to pause. Rattan lifts a fern into the light. Terracotta breathes, steady and warm. The rail holds a linen panel like a quiet wave. Cream and taupe frame the moment, so it lingers. This trim little mudroom reads like a thoughtful coda, cane seat, peg rail, seagrass bins, all tuned to the rhythm of coming and going. Winter glow filters through side lights, smoothing edges and softening the clay and sage notes. A narrow runner layered with a kilim fragment gives the floor grace. Terracotta stands ready by the door, dignified and useful. Everything is scaled to the life it holds, and the welcome feels practiced, warm, and dependable. Thanks for spending time at Optistic. We covered how soft winter radiance, layered rugs, natural fibers, and curated vintage touches can transform tiny Echo Park style spaces into soothing, bohemian sanctuaries. Remember the power of neutrals with clay and sage, ribbed glass for glow, and practical styling that feels tender and true. If this inspired your next corner refresh, please like the video, subscribe for more small space ideas, and drop a comment with your favorite detail. Your feedback guides future episodes.